Hi, this is Helen Macmillan of the Awaken Studio. I'm here with Matthew Gordon Martin. Matthew, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today in our conversation about awakenings. How are
Yep,
you?
I'm good.
Excellent. So, Matthew, you are such a beautiful light, and I wanted to share some of your wisdom with the members of our community. So, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
I am an actor trainer or teacher, and a director.
Awesome. And are you currently in where are you currently? Where am I speaking to you?
Currently in London.
And what are you doing in London? How awesome.
I'm doing my master's in actor training.
Excellent.
Yep.
Wonderful. So, I can you tell me what is your uh, description, your definition of an awakening? What does the word awakening mean to you?
Um, I would say it has two different definitions for me. The first is to become present, to no longer be trapped in the future or thoughts of the future, consciousnesses on the future or of the past, is to really live within this moment, as well as to discover the freedom of awareness. When you
Hmm.
awaken, you become more aware of yourself and the world around you, and then of the choices then you can make from that space.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful description. So, um, can you share with us an example from your life of maybe an awakening that you've had, an awareness that you've had, and how it was for you before, maybe versus after? What, so that people can get an idea of what that might look like in their lives.
Um, I feel I don't know if there's ever a specific moment that I can think of right now,
Hmm.
but I know that for sure in whatever moment that I'm awakened into, it's almost this release, this active. It's almost exciting because you get to now make a choice and change. Usually, it's in a situation that's you're feeling emotion or negative, quote unquote, negative emotions. But and then being able to make a choice and change that.
So, is there something specific? So, can you give me an example? So, for example, say somebody pisses you off, you're in the line and somebody pisses you off, and then you you realize that you're feeling angry and what would be an example in that? I'm trying to help people to understand specifically what it might look like in the midst of their life. So would it
It
be something like that, and then you realize, oh my
well,
gosh,
I think then we have to distill it down, go a little bit further back, and understand. Okay, if awakening is you are in control, you get to make choices, and you understand that you're attracting all these interactions and encounters in your life for whatever reason. Um, then in those moments that you get caught up in emotions, which is just energy flowing, energy motion,
hmm
um, we instead of retaliating and having some kind of negative reaction, we take a moment to stop and understand and assess the situation and learn from it and grow and move forward with it. I think okay, I think it's when we get trapped in a moment in terms of a specific emotion. Usually there it's sadness or grief or anger. And you it's something you can't get rid of. It's something that's just constantly there with you.
hmm
That is when you're usually unconscious and that it's either active or it's either an active decision we make to not let go of it
hmm
or an unconscious decision, but I think once you're awakened, you realize you're in that moment, and you can literally decide to just let it flow.
Mm. Mm-hmm. So you're
And
exercising your power of choice
yes,
and being proactive and conscious about your choice rather than reacting from a
yes,
conditioned place.
correct, yeah.
Ah, wonderful. Okay. And do you believe that we are currently undergoing some kind of global awakening? And what does that look like for you, if so?
Um, I would say it's that tiny shift in everyone connect beginning to connect more with themselves,
Hmm.
and this and question. It actually comes up in more questions being asked
Hmm.
of themselves
Mm-hmm.
and of what they're seeing, and in the interactions that they have. It's almost like the why. What is this? Why is this happening? Um, and we're asking a lot more questions now,
Yeah.
rather than living in this bubble. We went through the robotic period,
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I think that's where we're growing out of and branching.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's beautiful. How has having a greater level of awareness impacted your life? What
Oh,
difference has it made? How has being more awake impacted your life?
oh, you connect with people on a completely different level, and nothing. You almost you just find things happening. It all just happens so much easier, and you find that when you get in those moments of being stuck, when you get into those moments of crap, I feel like XYZ, of negative anything, it's you're able to switch out of it easily. Well,
Hmm.
not necessarily easily. You can actively choose to switch out of it.
Hmm. Hmm. So
It,
do
it
so does do you feel like you are more in control of your life?
absolutely, yeah,
Ah.
yes, yes.
Wow. Wow.
But
Yeah.
it's interesting because then you think, did we never think we were in control of our lives?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Maybe we have a greater sense of what control means
Hmm.
and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's what changes.
Hmm. Yeah. So if you had one piece of advice for someone in the throes of um, the that not feeling yet, not where you are yet in that level of able to be more aware and therefore make more conscious decisions, and they just feel like they're being battered battered by life and circumstances. What wisdom would you offer them from the space where you are now?
Take a moment to breathe
Hmm.
and connect with breath. And that has to be something that's mechanical.
Hmm.
We can't just go, oh, but I'm breathing in every moment. It is to actively become aware of how you're breathing.
Hmm. Take
And
a
then you get,
conscious breath.
yeah, and to control that breath,
Hmm.
change that breath, because then I think you can then move into a space of choosing.
Hmm. Wow, that's beautiful. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. And sage advice. Sage advice. Thank you so much, Matthew, for taking your time and sharing your love and your wisdom with us. And we wish you continued success in your program there in London.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.